the reason why most people are going to sit here and say that Pixar is better than DreamWorks is because they have one of the most long-standing, elaborate
Easter egg franchise connection. Thank you, of any franchise ever. In my opinion, even more than the Marvel, to be honest. And Marvel's still going strong, but Pixar. Like the Pixar Theory is absolutely fantastic. Are you aware of the Pixar Theory? I am. I know that they all interconnect in some form or fashion. I know Pizza Planet truck is in pretty much any Pixar movie. But if you have I know there's some theories as to like there's like a dark side of it and things like that, right? Like Marlin loses Nemo. Stuff like that. There's a lot of dark stuff to it.
The whole movie is.
But there is another theory that they all just connect, and I'm pretty sure you might know the full gist of that.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been keeping up with that since high school when I first found out about it. In fact, I'm actually not the person that thought of this. Obviously, I'm not. I've been doing this, watching movies since I was a kid. But a guy named John Negroni is actually the first person to come up with the idea of the Pixar theory. Officially, Pixar has said that it is not canon. It's just a fun little thing that
Easter
they like
egg.
to throw in there. The A113 is pretty much in every single movie. That's like that little code right there was the room number for a lot of these Pixar animators where they went to school and the classroom that they all kind of went to. Very cool stuff, but we as movie watchers will find new and cool, amazing ways to interconnect these movies that we absolutely love to make them even better than they actually are. And to explain briefly, what we get from this is it starts off with the Good Dinosaur. If you guys haven't watched that, if you haven't watched any of these movies, you definitely should. They're fantastic. But it starts off with the Good Dinosaurs, the precipice of the Good Dinosaurs that the asteroid that killed off the dinosaurs missed by like a fraction. And because of that, dinosaurs evolved to become a lot smarter, and they started to dominate the entire planet. Animals started to dominate the entire planet, become a lot smarter, start agriculture, and the T-Rexes, even in The Good Dinosaur, were even ranching and farmers and all that stuff, which was cool and fantastic. Human beings were the bottom rung of the whole society, and then incrementally, the environment of the Good Dinosaurs started to change, and then it eventually became drastic, and the dinosaurs couldn't really keep up with that, and human beings, for whatever reason, could keep up with that, and they started to evolve a little bit better than animals were. So the next part of it was the Incredibles. The Incredibles, that's when crime starts to be incredibly high. Human beings have evolved to a point where they even start to get like superpowers, and then you get somebody like Syndrome, who becomes a little jealous of all these powers and he creates AI with the express purpose of faking being a superhero, and then it gets a little away from him, and AI starts to temporarily, just for that third act, start to take over. And they start to realize after they get beaten by the Incredibles that it can't actually subjugate humanity via force. They take a little more of a gentle approach, that being just pampering them unto submission, basically. So human beings, it kind of similar to like Lex Luthor, and the reason why he hates Superman. Without stress and force, humanity stops to evolve. So when you have somebody like Superman coming down here to save humanity from every small itsy bitsy, tree trunk that falls on a dog.
Yeah, you're preventing humans from evolving themselves.
You're preventing human beings from evolving. And that's sort of what AI successfully does within the Pixar theories, kind of stops them from evolving. And human beings start to become a lot lazier. They start to pollute the earth and whatnot. And as a byproduct of this, animals start to become a lot more intelligent. You start to see that with something like Finding Nemo, and you start to see that with what are some other smart. Ratatouille, exactly. Finding Dory. I mean, crying out loud, Dory drives a car in Finding Dory, which is nuts. And human beings are starting. Fishes outsmart human beings all the time and all that stuff in this Pixar theory, which is definitely interesting. So given enough time, they probably would have evolved beyond even humans. But unfortunately, human beings being what human beings do best, they ended up polluting the planet beyond its capability, beyond them being able to live there. So they actually, just like you see with WALL-E, they flee, they go up into space, and they leave all these WALL-E machines to clean up the earth and all that.
So the Earth is pretty much left to machines, and that's where you start to see the cars sort of come in, the Cars universe start to come in. And then when Wall-E and the human beings come back after like 700 years or whatever, with all the world being the way that it is, they start to evolve. The human beings start to evolve beyond what we kind of see them as they are today, and they start to see that with Onward. Those are actually human beings. The monsters are actually human beings. When you go into Monsters Inc., those monsters are actually heavily irradiated human beings that have transformed and evolved into what they are, and they actually use the doors to go back in time because they have an energy crisis to fuel their little world with the screams and eventually the laughter of kids from the past. The doors are actually time traveling, and you start to see a little bit of that with Brave circling all the way back to relatively the beginning. You start to see Brave, the old witch from
is Boo.
She's actually Boo. So you start to see little small things. There's, like, for instance, she has a carved little piece of the pizza truck. She has a carved little piece of Sully. She's very, very interested into bears, and bears very much resemble Sully. It's all connected, right? It's absolutely fantastic. It's fun to see all these Pixar movies and see the connections kind of in the background, whether you're seeing the pizza truck, the infamous pizza truck, or whether you're seeing A113 or whatever. You see it in every movie, and it's just fun as a watcher to sort of see that.
Especially as like an Easter egg. And even if this wasn't planned, like you did this in the very beginning, because I think they've even implemented, I think from Toy Story, right? Pizza Planet and all that, and then that's how you started getting it. You accidentally started putting these in movies without even realizing, like, you're connecting all of them together. So that's what people, especially Pixar fans, can enjoy.